begin with the date. Now, there hasn't been an official announcement just yet, but more than likely, you're going to see this phone launch somewhere around September 13th. Now, they don't usually go into September 20th late in the month. So usually this is around the time, second week of September, and that's more than likely what's going to happen. The next thing I want to discuss is that the iPhone mini is going to be getting erased this year with the iPhone 14 series in terms of they're not going to bring a 14 mini. They're going to replace this with a 14 Max. So there will be two models, a 6.1 inch iPhone over there, 14. There'll be a 6.7 inch iPhone 14 Max. And of course, these notches will get removed on the Pros. And this is kind of what the lineup's going to look like right here for the 14. So basically all big phones say goodbye to the mini. So if you loved the iPhone mini, this is not going to be your favorite time of the year, because of course they'll probably just keep it around the back stock that they have. But if you're looking forward to the future of the mini, it's not looking too bright. Now the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, this is the 13 Pro and 13 Pro Max, but they're gonna have basically pill cutouts and punch holes. I'm sure you've seen this rumor already, but these guys right here, definitely going to be some pretty good deals if you can find these 13 Pro and Pro Maxes at a cheaper price point. But you can expect the notches to go away only on the Pro models and to retain on the 14 Pro Max and the 14. So essentially what you see here is what you're going to get on, you know, September the 13th or whatever. It's coming next month. Now you can see that diagonal camera. They're likely going to keep that. This is the 12 Pro Max here, but on the iPhone 14 Max, they are going to probably likely have that dual camera setup again, just so you can differentiate between the more Pro line and the regular line. Now those Pro models will have actually a little bit more screen space, because here on the 13 Pro, as you can see there, let me go ahead and take it out of dark mode for just a minute here. You can see the notch doesn't intrude, so they're actually going to be slightly more screen space, but it's mostly going to be up in here, so it's not really going to be much usable screen space. And the same will go for the iPhone 13 Pro Max upgrade to the 14 Pro Max. So you can expect that on the 14 series. The 14 Pro Max, it'll definitely look nice here, because I will notice it even less. So you can see the notch should decrease, and this should be slightly larger display as well. But again, it's not going to be super like a lot of usable space. It's just going to be a little bit more space on the spec sheet. Now in terms of the colorways, there is likely going to be either a purple color, a black color, a bronze color. Maybe Apple throw us a curveball, give us something that we haven't seen before. I'm hoping they bring a red to the Pro line, but I don't think that's going to happen. This was the color of last year, the Sierra Blue. But yeah, we're going to see something fresh. We're going to see something new. Of course, every year they are bringing a little bit of a different take on similar colorways for the iPhone 13. You've seen this green right here. You're going to see multiple new colors coming to all of these phones. So just look out for that. It's going to be pretty interesting. Now, what's kind of disappointing is that for the upcoming Pro line, this 14 Pro is going to have a similar camera to the 13. And then these are going to actually, these are already huge camera bumps on the 13 Pro. They're actually going to get bigger on the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max, because they're going to go to a 48 megapixel 8K camera on that guy. That's what the rumors are saying. And I think it's time Apple is going to upgrade from 4K 60. Every other Android manufacturer is doing more than 4K. I would not be surprised whatsoever if that becomes true. You could see it topping out at 4K 60. Expect on the 14 series, especially the Pro line, you're going to see that 8K. I actually wouldn't even be surprised if they bring 8K to the iPhone 14, the standards, but maybe not with the same, you know, lenses. But we'll see what happens. It seems like this year, a lot of people are saying it's going to be more of a differentiation, and that's going to lead me on to my next point. When it comes to the CPUs, you are looking at, you know, the A series Bionics on every iPhone right now. We're looking to see A16s come to the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max. So Apple A16, that's going to be a nice update over the A15. Although the A15 is so powerful, I feel like I've never even taken full advantage of it. It just basically gives you boss performance every day. So A15 is still super strong. So if it does remain on the iPhone 14, I think Apple's going to have to do something in other areas like better battery life improve camera performance, obviously, and some other things to convince people, because then they could just go get a cheaper 13 series phone and be on their way. Now, the Max is still going to be very interesting to a lot of people. Expect huge popularity around the Max, the 14 Max, because you're finally going to be able to get a Max iPhone for a rumored price of under $900, a starting price of $899. So we'll see if that starting price becomes true. Now, all of these iPhones are going to be running iOS 16 out of the box. We're right now on developer beta 6 in the developer stages, but next month they're all going to be on official, and it's going to be great. So definitely nice to see, you know, we're going to have the latest and greatest software coming just here in a month. So if you're looking forward to iOS 16, let me know what reviews you want to see down below. I do plan to cover iOS 16 on a lot of iPhones, as well as showcase a lot of the features and maybe make some tutorials on some of the upcoming features. So let me know what you want to see on that. But all iPhone 14 series, expect iOS 16 loaded up right away. And also expect a quick update, because usually Apple drops a quick update right after the iPhones actually arrive to customers, so look out for that as well. One thing I don't think a lot of people are going to like is the rumored price increases. Now, this is something that not everybody's 100% sure on. We'll see when the day comes. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Apple raises the prices with the chip shortage continuing on, and, you know, the inflation and things like that. So if they go up to, you know, $1199 to start on the 14 Pro Max, and they go to $1099 to start on the 14 Pro series, I'm not going to be surprised by that. So do expect potentially a price increase, and all across the board it's actually going to get a higher price, because with the mini being dropped, you no longer start at $699 on the latest iPhone. You're going to be starting around $799, maybe even $849. We'll see. And the Max, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Max goes for $999. Like, I would not be surprised by that. I mean, the S22 Plus from Samsung goes for around that, so I wouldn't be surprised. But some people are saying it's going to be around $899. That would be pretty decent, but expect that $800 to $1,000 price range, even for the entry level ones. And we're going to see a feature. It's already in the code for iOS 16, but we don't have it yet here on any iPhone, and that is always on display. So there's going to be a display, you know, that shows little clock and stuff like that finally on the iPhone. They already should be able to do it. They have OLED displays already, but not available. Of course, ProMotion displays are going to come to the 14 Pro and Pro Max. Well, it remains to be seen if it'll be on the 14 and 14 Max. Not sure about that. Again, they're probably going to differentiate the line just like they do with the iPad, just like they do with the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro. Another nice update that's coming is increased RAM. I already said before, if we go to 8 gigs, I mean, Apple's already beating a lot of smartphones out there when it comes to just the speed test comparisons and stuff like that. Not a lot of people are touching them in the real world performance. Going to 8 gigs of RAM is going to make it even more worth it, because now that, you know, that odd app hang or that odd app reload, it's probably never going to happen. And finally, on these smaller iPhones, going up to at least 6 gigabytes of RAM, that would match the Pixel 6a and, you know, Pixel device like that. So definitely pretty nice to see if the 14 Max and the iPhone 14 go to 6 gigabytes of RAM. There is a likelihood that will happen, so you could expect that as well. There is a likelihood of a storage size increase of up to 2 terabytes. So I would not be surprised if you do see a 2 terabyte option coming to the iPhone. Now, that'll likely only be reserved for the Pros, with maybe even a 1 terabyte option available for the 14 and 14 Max. Not quite sure. They might keep it at 512 gigs to keep those prices more acceptable, but we'll see. There is a chance of a 2 terabyte option this year. And Wi-Fi 6E will be coming, and there's a lot more that remains to be seen. Are they going to increase, you know, to ProMotion on the main phones? Are they going to increase the overall performance in terms of the audio? Are they going to increase the 5G performance? We'll have to see. And there's going to be a lot more to be seen here coming up, but I think we nailed most of what we're going to see here. Maybe the front-facing cameras will be updated as well. Maybe the video quality, of course, Apple's always pushing the boundaries. But let me know if you're sad that the iPhone mini is gone, and if you're excited about the upcoming iPhone 14 models with the pill cutouts getting away from the notch finally, or do you think they're just copying Android? You got used to the notch. we'll see. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see on the 14, 14 Max, 14 Pro, Pro Max? Are you excited? And get all your video ideas in now. I do have a ton already written down and ready to go. So be subscribed for the upcoming content next month. And I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.